Hello, my name is Cindy. I'm one of the guides with GetSetUp. I wanted to show you something new that GetSetUp has to offer, and it is our new AI assistant called Helen. I want to show you a little bit how to use Helen to help you get even more information from GetSetUp and even referrals to classes. So I'm going to talk about Apple Watch, and I'm going to share the screen with you here and show you how you can actually use Helen to find answers to your questions, maybe about Apple Watch. I get so many different questions when I teach these classes, and hopefully this will help you regardless of what class you're in, so that you can actually find even more answers to questions you may have about the topic of the class that you're taking. This is a new look for you when you sign in to GetSetUp. You'll actually see something new up here. Right now I'm signed in and I'm on the home page, and this is what you see. Here's Helen right here welcoming me back, and this is our AI assistant. So I'm going to show you how to use it. You can actually take a question that you may have and actually type it in right here. Let's see, I'm going to put in one that's a question that I get a lot. Let's see here. I was gifted an Apple Watch. Where do I start? So you can type it in and hit the enter key on your keyboard, or you can click right here on the little arrow, and it will take you to a screen where it's thinking. Here's Helen thinking, searching the web for a great answer to your question that you may have. And in a matter of a couple of seconds, here's your answer to the question that you just asked. So Helen is very kind, greeting you. Hi, Cindy. Excited that you have an Apple Watch. And here's the answers. Where do you start? Charge it. First of all, charge your watch. Very good answer. If you can't charge it or it's not charged up, you can't pair it with your iPhone. Then it talks about pairing with the iPhone. That's the very first thing that you do have to do when you have a new Apple Watch. And then it starts telling you about the setup. Tells you how to set it up as a new device, or if you're restoring it from a backup, if you've already had an Apple Watch. Then it talks about exploring the different features, tells you a little bit about the things that it can do for you, talks about customizing your watch face, talks about health and fitness, and also notifications, how you can access your notifications. So this is a good range of ideas right here that Helen has given you about where do you start if you have an Apple Watch. A lot of times I have people in my classes about Apple Watch that have just been given a watch, maybe gifted from someone who was upgrading to a higher version of a watch. Maybe they just decided to purchase one. This is great right here, the answers that she just got through giving you here, and it all came from our AI assistant, Helen. Now, what she also does right here is she says you can continue the conversation by replying and asking a question based off of one of these questions. Here's where you can enter it in right here. You can type it in right here. She also gives you some suggestions right here on how can notifications be some suggestions based off of the answers that you gave you. Here's one about the notifications that she talked about. And here's one about tracking health and safety. That might be of interest. You can simply click right here. Maybe you're interested on health and safety for seniors, and maybe you didn't know the Apple Watch had those capabilities. You can click right there. And now Helen is actually talking back with you. She's searching for the answer to the question that she suggested. And she talks right here about all of the cool things that you can do for tracking your health as a senior. Great answers that are all in here: fitness workouts, tracking activity, health notifications, sleep tracking. She's got some very good answers right here. And again, you can continue the conversation, select something different right here, or you can even type in your own question. Maybe you have another question. Maybe you want to know if you have the most recent version of the operating system. Let's just ask and see what she has to say about that. Let's put it worded a little bit differently. How do I know if I need to update the operating system on my watch? Again, click right here on the little button or hit your enter button on the keyboard, and Helen will give you an answer to that one too. And here you are. In a matter of seconds, you've got excellent answers right here from Helen. Okay, now if you also notice, Right over here on the right-hand side, these are related classes, and these will all be classes that we have to offer here on GetSetUp. Um, and they are about the topic that you're asking Helen questions about. You can see these all refer you to different things, classes right here on Apple Watch. And if you decide, oh, that looks great, this looks good. Let's talk about discover the power of your Apple Watch. This looks like a great class. So I see that it's 18 minutes right here. And so you can actually click on it right here and you can actually watch the class if you so desire. So this happens to be one that I actually did. And you can choose to watch the class right here and take off and actually watch it right here. If you're in a live class, you also can actually go in and start a chat with Helen right here. While you're watching the class, if you have questions that come to mind, you can put them right in here and type to Helen, and Helen will talk with you and answer questions while you're watching your live class right there. So if you decide you don't want to watch it anymore or you're done watching it, you can exit out right here by tapping on clicking on exit. And it will ask you, are you sure you want to exit the class? Or do you want to take a look at some of these other classes that are suggested right here? If you click on the small little arrow right down here, you'll see that there are several other classes that are suggested. May not be necessarily related to the topic that you've been talking to Helen about, but this is just to let you know all of the other many great classes that we have right here on GetSetUp that you can attend at any time that you want. Many of them are live. You can click on one right here, and here we go. Here is a low impact aerobics class right here. If you want to follow along, you can do it right here. If you want to just watch, you can. But you can see again, here's another class. So it gives you all kinds of options for different classes that you may be interested in. I'm going to go ahead and exit out. And this time I'm going to tell it, let's see right here. I'm going to tell it, yes, I do want to continue to exit. And when I do, it takes me right back to Helen right here again, saying, what else can I help you with? So as you can see right here, this is the Helen that you see if on the home screen up here, this is a new look. Right up here, here's your Helen AI. And if you just want to pop into GetSetUp and just simply go to Helen and ask something about maybe you're looking for classes that have to do with completing tax forms or something, you can just simply click on Helen right here. It takes you to this page, and you could actually go in and say, let's see. Let's something very basic. What tax form do I need? Something super basic. You can click on it right here. And in a matter of seconds, you'll have your answers right here. Again, you have some other classes over here that are related. Here's a very good one about tax scams, which we all need to know about. You can once again go over here and click on the class and take it if you so desire. Or here's the answers right here that you ask when you were asking about what type of tax form do you need. Here's all the excellent answers that Helen has for you right here. And again, you can continue the conversation by asking a whole new question right here. Or you could actually, well, this looks like a good topic that Helen suggested. So let's see what kind of resources explain the deductions for seniors. Let's see what Helen has to say here. Go ahead and click on that. You can see that she's thinking right now. In just a second, she'll have your answer back for you. And here it comes in a matter of seconds. So here is all the good information here about sources that will explain deductions for low-income seniors on your taxes. Now, also, if you notice over here below the related classes, you have a section here called related articles. If you click on this, it will open up and show you some articles that are very good for giving you information about taxes, Medicare costs. Here's income related adjustments in Medicare. This also has articles that are interesting for you to read. So let's say we want to read one of them. Maybe I don't have time to watch a whole class, but I have time to actually go through and look at an article. And here actually is an article that maybe I've been wondering about what exactly do I need to make sure I do before the Medicare annual enrollment comes along. I can simply click on it, and here's an interesting article. I can peruse this at my own speed. I can spend as much time looking through it, or I can just scroll through it and see some of the things, the highlights of the article. But it has also great suggestions for articles that you may want to take a look at while you're over here carrying on your conversation with Helen. Also, if you look on through here, you do see some suggestions for related clubs. These are some other different clubs or whatever that may be related to this. In this case, looks like they're related to topics for walking and things like that. Things that you may be able to find locally close to you or something that you could actually join. But those are related clubs. And related reminders would be right here. If you have things that you have or might need to do right here, this is another interesting thing to look at too. But the main thing I think that really helps is the related articles. Like I said, if you don't have time to sit through a class, you can maybe find an article real quick and you might say, oh, this is exactly what I was looking for. Let me just click right in here and read this article real quick. So another very handy thing that Helen can help you with. So again, a little recap here. This is your home page, and look that you'll see now with our new Helen AI topped right up here, or you can get into it. If all you want to do is log in to GetSetUp and just go straight to Helen here and type in something, you certainly can. If you've had previous conversations, it'll be right up there, but you can go in and put any other question that you may have. Since we were earlier talking about Apple Watch, I'm going to put one more question in about Apple Watch. And this time I'm going to ask it how to set up a sleep schedule. Oops. How do I set up a sleep schedule on Apple Watch? Again, here's related classes over here. These happen to be a lot of them that I teach. It could give you answers to anything that you may have questions about with your Apple Watch. Helen's thinking, coming up with some answer here. And here's your instructions on how to actually set up a sleep schedule on your Apple Watch. You can type anything in that you want there. Maybe you are trying to decide what type of watch to purchase. Ask Helen. Here we go. How do I know what type of Apple Watch is for me? Again, related questions, classes over here that we have that could help. You can click on them and watch the class right here. If you don't have time to really watch a whole class, you can click over here on related articles, and maybe you'll find some things over here that can help you. Okay. Also, you can go ahead and continue the conversation with Helen if you'd like. All right. So I hope this has helped you and that you will use Helen as you are in classes or as you have questions about classes that we offer here at GetSetUp. And I believe you're going to find this really interesting and very helpful to use. AI is the newest, greatest thing that's out there, and it certainly is a great thing that GetSetUp has added to all of its offerings.